One more time, let's give it up for Rob Wilson.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here today. 1.5 million for 16,000 scalps. That's what the state of California paid to exterminate Native Americans. It wasn't war, it was government policy. $93 a head in today's dollars. Please join me around the fire. Like generations before us, we gather as a community. We've all got our favorite drink in hand. Coffee, tea, maybe something stronger depending on how your week's been going. And yes, someone's roasting marshmallows. I mean, let's be honest. S'mores are about the only thing the entire country can agree upon. We laugh, we listen, we debate. An elder begins to speak. Not just another story, but a truth that challenges the way we think about everything. Then suddenly, his granddaughter bursts in. You won't believe what I just heard. The state of California has declared war on us. They put a bounty on our scalps. They're coming for us. The fire continues, but the warmth has disappeared. Someone whispers, this can't be real. But it was. It happened right here on this very land. Now I get it. This escalated quickly. 1 minute we're roasting marshmallows, the next we're dodging scalp bounties. Welcome to California history. Everyone is talking about leadership today. There are books, podcasts, and newsletters, all promising a better you, a better outcome, a better example. Leadership gurus forget one thing. The best leadership lessons don't come from the boardroom. They come from survival. Leadership gurus talk about courage and vision and culture like they're new things. The reality is, Native Americans have passed these things down for generations because their life depended on it. I'm not here today to talk to you about leadership as a title. I'm here today to talk to you about leadership as a legacy. A promise to future generations. Because it's not about influence, it's about impact. And if you can lead when everything's at risk, well, you can lead at any time. In 1851, California's first governor declared a war against Native Americans. The state paid to kill them. For 2 decades, militias wiped out entire villages. Men, women, and children slaughtered. It was genocide. Now, I know this is very heavy for a TED Talk, but stay with me because this isn't just about history. My name is Rod Wilson, and for over 30 years, I've worked with tribal nations where every decision can shape a generation. I'll be honest, I didn't know there were 110 federally recognized tribes in California until I was driving east on the 10 freeway in San Bernardino, and I saw a billboard for one, San Manuel Bingo and Casino. At the time, it was the largest bingo hall in the country. That one sign opened thousands of stories that have changed my life. Since then, I've sat in boardrooms, trailers, and kitchens across California reservations where tribal leaders have made tough decisions that have shaped generations. That's when I learned what leadership really looks like. Even MIT is trying to teach this kind of leadership. But don't worry, I'm going to save you $80,000 in tuition right here, right now. For Native nations, history was never just the past. It was a survival guide. They were pushed off their lands, lied to, nearly erased. But through strong leadership, they didn't just survive, they endured, and they rebuilt. Each generation made hard choices. It's not just why you lead, it's who you're leading for. This isn't just Native history, it's self-reliance, it's character, it's leadership. In one generation, tribal nations went from dirt floors to boardrooms. Now they're driving growth, reshaping industries, and leading the way in energy, hospitality, and education. The same people once labeled poor and criminal are now setting the standards, while others take notes. Think about that. If it doesn't matter to you now, it will matter to generations who follow. Now, if you're still with me, now's the time to lean in, because what comes next isn't theory. It's a leadership curriculum that no one teaches, but everyone needs. Leadership isn't about being in charge. Leadership is about the care of those in your charge. Not from books, born from survival. These 5 lessons still lead today. So let's get into it. The first one, thriving, not just surviving. Native leaders did not plan to thrive. They were fighting to survive. Take the Hamul Indian village in San Diego. Forced onto 6 acres, no water, no power. They kept their culture, their language, and their identity. They built an economy out of nothing. Today, they give millions of dollars every year to lots of community organizations around the state that are improving the lives of so many people. Hotels sold service. Airbnb sold belonging and redefined the future. Thriving means knowing when to let go if it no longer works. Native leaders understand that, and so must we. Number 2, when the U.S. attorneys tried to shut down casinos, tribes had 2 choices: fight or close. They chose to stand, and they rallied the people of California. Today, tribal nations run some of the most successful enterprises across the country. They face constant threats, racism, lawsuits, political pressure, and spent millions just to defend their right to survive. They adapted, and they never stopped. The Cherokee Nation created a written language, formed a government, and launched a national newspaper, not to imitate, but to survive in a world that was trying to erase them. Yahoo passed on Google and then Microsoft. They stood still till the future moved on. Apple didn't wait. It led and gave us things we didn't even know we need. The greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence itself. It's to act with yesterday's logic. Native leaders didn't wait for permission. They led first because survival depended on it. Number 3, protect your people and your truth. Is your view of Native Americans shaped by John Wayne or Indian gaming? For decades, Hollywood told the story, casting Native Americans as savages. Those lies fueled stereotypes and generations of misunderstanding. Tribal leaders didn't just protect land. They protected culture, knowledge, and their people's future. Take the Cabazon Band, a small tribe no one's ever heard of. They fought with the United States government and took their case all the way to the Supreme Court. They shocked the world when they won. That case opened the door for modern Indian gaming today. Today's threats aren't raids. They're misinformation, deepfakes, and rising class envy. The Shingle Springs tribe, between Sacramento and Lake Tahoe, was given land, but no legal access to it. They had to change the laws of California so that Caltrans would recognize them as a government and allow them to build and pay for a road to their own reservation. Take Boeing. Employees warned about safety issues with the 737 MAX. Leaders ignored it. The truth was buried until it was not. And when lives were lost, so was public trust. That's not leadership. That's what happens when no one protects the truth or their people. The first duty of a leader is to define reality. Native leaders never stopped doing that. They told the truth and protected it. Number 4, culture is your superpower. They say culture eats strategy for breakfast. That thought still echoes through the halls at the Drucker School of Management. If you lose your values, you lose everything. Around the fire, Native leaders preserve culture. Despite efforts to erase them, they pass down language, story, and identity from generation to generation. When others tried to erase or dismiss the culture of San Manuel, they fought back. They changed the law and created California Native American Day, a day to bring local history into the classrooms and keep history alive. REI and Patagonia don't just sell outdoor gear. They built movements centered on stewardship and empowerment. Culture isn't fluff, it's power. For Native leaders, culture wasn't branding, it was belonging. And when everything else was under attack, that's what held them together. And number 5, the long game is the only game. Wall Street thinks in quarters. Native leaders thought in centuries. Leadership isn't about being liked. It's defined by results. Amazon didn't chase short-term profits from the beginning. They played the long game from day one. Tribes weren't chasing headlines. They were building legacies for generations they would never meet. They didn't ask to be rescued. They asked to be included. A seat at the table meant a voice, a vote, and a future. Everyone at the table is a strategy. The future belongs to those who build it. So we started around the fire, not just for comfort, but because that's where truth gets passed on. It felt safe. It felt like home. Then everything changed. The governor has put a price on our heads. $93 a head. That's when leadership shows up. Not when things are easy, but when everything's at risk. Today, we all face our own moments. Decisions that shape the future. Yahoo and Boeing each had a chance to lead, and they failed when leadership mattered most. But companies like Amazon, REI, and Patagonia, they didn't just build strategy, they created culture. That's why they're not just keeping up, they're leading. Leadership means listening to challenge, turning resistance into momentum, and seeing disruption not as a threat, but as a sign. Native leaders understood that. Their choices made survival possible. That's why their people are still here. Now for the fun part. It's our turn. Everybody excited? The choices we make in business, in government, and life will shape what survives for the next generation. GoPro, the pioneer of action cameras, is at a crossroads. Do they expand? Do they adapt? Or fade like so many who waited too long to lead? We can lead with fear or with purpose. Protect what was or build what should be. So, what kind of leader will you be? Tomorrow you'll make dozens of decisions, some big, some small. But once, just stop and ask, am I leading for the next quarter or the next 100 years? Will future generations thank me, or will they have to undo everything I left behind? History doesn't remember those who played it safe. It remembers those who shaped the future for those yet to come. You don't need a title to lead. You need trust. You need purpose, and someone watching to see if you'll do what matters, even when it's hard. Leadership starts with one question. Who benefits tomorrow? Lead boldly, lead for the next generation, Lead like someone is counting on you, because they are. As we leave the fire behind, remember, the greatest leaders aren't remembered for what they had. They're remembered for how they led. So make your great-great-great-great-grandchildren very proud of you, not for what you built, but for what you stood for. I truly enjoyed our time together today. Thank you.